This week in history.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Okay, Johnny, so first up for this week in history, I've got that Christopher Columbus would set sail on his first voyage on August 3rd, 1492. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
All right, an American hero. What a great guy discovering America, the land of the free.
The home of the
He
brave.
landed where? In Plymouth, I think, and then just America formed shortly thereafter.
Yeah, right. Or he would set sail from Palos de la Frontera, Spain. I butchered that, but whatever. With the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina, which we all know that story. It would actually take him several months to get over to America.
Right,
Whee!
yes.
And by America, I mean on October 12th, he would land in the Bahamas on
Oh,
an island that he named San Salvador.
so
He did not land in the continental North America or even the continental South America.
But in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And then I don't remember anything after that, but I think pretty sure it was something.
I'm pretty sure it says something about discovering America.
Discovering America and bringing a spice trade route.
No.
But the good thing is he landed in Bahamas, and from what I hear, it was an all expenses paid vacation for him.
It wasn't all. Well, I do like. Hey, you know I love myself some all expensive paid trips to the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica.
He took
Which
the
he
first
would land
one.
on. He would land there, but not on this trip.
No, that was later when he went back for gold and to cut off hands of those who didn't bring him enough.
Yeah, he would spend the next 5 months exploring the Caribbean, and by exploring, I mean
the Caribbean's women.
Yeah, yes, and he would go from island to island where he would capture 25 natives to return to Spain. Be like, look, I found new people.
You know, the number of people that have existed in this world that are worse than Christopher Columbus, I can count on one hand.
We just did an episode on Woodrow Wilson. He might be up there.
I think he's 6 or 7.
Inadvertently in what he had.
Right. Christopher Columbus, nothing was inadvertent. This dude is a fucking monster. And the fact that we have a national holiday for him is a disgrace.
The fact that we are in the United States have a national holiday for him makes no goddamn sense because he never once set foot in North America.
And it's a fucking disgrace.
Yeah. To be fair, Johnny, 9 of those 25 people that he kidnapped did survive.
Oh, how good for them. And how do they live out the rest of their lives?
I'm sure in pain and misery.
Oh, how about that?
Well, next thing I got for you, Johnny, is that William Wallace is captured.
I'm sorry, that's it?
Yeah, well,
Christopher Columbus set off.
He set off on his way. I don't know. I mean, I could do a whole
nation.
episode on him being an asshole, but
Can we?
yes, we will.
In a future episode, we explore Christopher Columbus.
We already
and
kind of
why
did.
that holiday needs to be removed.
We already kind of did with our like shenanigans episode that we did, which I'll put a link to that at the end because
We'll get
where
there.
he tricked the Native Americans into thinking he was a god.
Right, but that was but one small thing that he did.
Yeah, actually, that was actually one of the least awful things.
And it was one of the kinder, gentler things that he did to everybody. Anyway, all right, what's the second thing this week?
So William Wallace is captured on August 5th, 1305. So we got old stuff for you today.
Wait, 1305. Who's William Wallace?
William Wallace.
For 1305, what a name.
Yeah.
Like those are both held up. I don't know William Wallace.
You legitimately don't know William Wallace?
I feel like I should know that name. I feel like it's familiar, but I don't know the story of William Wallace.
You never watched Braveheart?
No.
The movie Braveheart. You never watched the movie
No,
Braveheart?
I heard that you had to literally change VHS tapes halfway through, and that was a deal breaker for me.
And what you did, you actually had to do. And if it's in Laserdisc, you got to change it like 3 times.
you get one, pull it out, turn it over, pull it out, put the new one
Put a
in,
new
and then
disc
turn
in,
that over. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. So William Wallace is a freedom fighter from Scotland who was fighting against the British Crown and to try to gain Scottish independence.
Okay. And so this was Braveheart, basically.
This is Braveheart, the movie
Okay.
Braveheart. Go home and watch the movie Braveheart. Although, like,
Nope, not gonna do that.
there are some historical liberties that were taken with that
Of,
movie, but
of
beside the
course.
point. They weren't wearing kilts in 1305. Just saying.
No, but it helps set the spot and space and region for the general American viewer.
And the major victory that they had was fought over a bridge, not over open land. But whatever. Like it's not a bad
Tommy,
movie.
you try shooting an exciting, historically accurate film, and that was based in the 1300s. Like, you gotta take something to make it more, especially if you're gonna make a 3.5 hour film. For crying out loud. Just like they could have documented the actual event, it probably would have been shorter.
Maybe. He would be captured in Rob Royston, which was near Glasgow. I know how to say Glasgow. So he was captured near Glasgow.
Yeah.
He was transported to London and handed over to King Edward I of England, where he was sentenced to death for treason, and he was hanged, drawn and quartered, and then his body parts were sent across England as a warning to future rebellions, which worked oh so well for him.
I mean, so they were sent, but then, like, were there instructions on what to do with it when it arrived, or is it just
Like they put
showing
him
up
on
to some
they put him on like city gates and that kind of shit.
Okay,
Like,
I was just picturing some like city hall employee getting a
like
box and be like, there is a what looks like a elbow to the fingertips, and I don't know what to do with this. Like, did somebody order this, or what are we supposed to do?
Well, today, Johnny, William Wallace is a mythological figure, not only in Scotland, but across the world, and a symbol of freedom. And by freedom, I mean freedom, which you would get if you watched the goddamn movie, Johnny.
Yeah.
Go watch some movies.
They're just so long.
Johnny never watches any movies. It's very disappointing to me as somebody who actually really enjoys watching movies.
You know
I
what?
want to make you watch it on Laserdisc.
They all need to tighten them up a little bit. Like, I can watch a 1 hour special on something. I'm not sitting around for 2.5 hours.
I think it was more like 3 hours for that one, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's literally.
That's why you want to watch it on Laserdisc, because you watch 45 minutes at a time, and then it's like watching an episode on TV.
No, that's terrible, because after the 45 minutes, you have to get up and do something. I get mad when Netflix lets me watch it for like 3 or 4 episodes and it's like, are you still watching? It's like, hell yeah, I'm still watching.
Netflix is a judgy bitch.
Now I have to get my controller, turn it back on, push play on it, turn the controller back on. Like, you are wasting my time, Netflix. I'm obviously binging the entire series of The Office for the 18th time. They're taking it away at the end of the year.
You just watch Community, which, by the way, if you've never seen Community, stop at season 4.
Woof, like, I'd seen up to, I think, season 4. The last 2 seasons were a struggle, especially season 6. Yeah. That's a different episode. That has nothing to do with This Week in History.
No, it doesn't have anything.
We'll cover that in our tech episodes.
We did finish that whole series yesterday, so.
Yeah, not worth the last season. Don't bother.
No, it wasn't. Anyways, so the last thing I got for us is that what happens today while we're recording it, on August 6th, 1945, the U.S. would drop the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
I got all excited because you said it happened today while we're recording, and then you got to bring me an atomic bomb being dropped.
Yeah.
That was Little Boy?
The Little Boy. Yeah. Oh my God, Johnny. Yeah.
Look at that. I visited the Air Force Base in Ohio.
With me.
Well, also several times with Eric and other times, but yes.
So we went. That was a good trip. Anyways, Hiroshima was specifically chosen as a significant industrial and military target because Tokyo was already ashes at this point because we firebombed the shit out of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Because, that's what we do. It was the 393rd Bombardier Squadron sent a B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, from Tinian Island, which you would recognize from last week because the USS Indianapolis landed there last week. And it had a flight time of around 6 hours. The Enola Gay was accompanied by 2 other B-29 bombers, just in case shit went wrong, although they didn't have a nuclear bomb with them either, but at least they had
Right.
some
Can
means
you
of defense for the other one.
can you imagine being the pilot of one of those?
Well, of just one of those or one of those dropping that bomb?
Anything, but in particular, for 6 hours, you are flying, knowing
Oh,
you are
Johnny,
carrying.
that is a short flight for a B-29.
No, I know, but for a human being to sit and consider the fact that they are about to obliterate an entire city.
In their defense, they weren't entirely aware of what was going to happen.
Well, no, and that's fine, but they were a little bit aware.
Yeah.
So much aware that this is something that I found out after my college days, and the book Bly is My Teacher told me, I think. But like, we sent warnings
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
to
we
the
did.
cities. We dropped pamphlets all over them.
Yeah.
We told this, like, it was basically hurricane warning saying, get out of
Yeah,
the
we
city.
did. We
And
did
some
try to do as
people
much
did-
due diligence as we could to warn people that it was coming.
Right. And so just like a hurricane, there were people that were like, oh, whatever, that's bullshit. I'm going to stay here, whatever. There were people that got out and everything else.
Well,
But you
Johnny, it's
still-
Japan. They weren't really given the option.
Well,
Like-
sure. But but like, there were some people, I'm sure the wealthy were able to get out. No, but in any case, you're flying carrying this, knowing what you're going to do. Like,
Yeah.
and you're probably 18, well, probably they were probably like 20 to 25, 27. Like, they're young people.
Well, and to make matters worse, like me and you know what an atomic bomb can do because we've seen
Right.
what they can do. We've
Yeah,
seen
countless
the news
videos and
the pilots and anybody aboard those planes or on the ground has no idea what can happen outside of a
Right.
select few people that develop this. Nobody knows what it can do.
they know basically they have a big bomb, but by big bomb they're thinking like, oh, if one of these bombs that they use for the fire bombings is going to be slightly larger.
Yeah. The bomb itself would not be armed until the flight was in the air because they thought, well, if it crashes on the runway, which B-29s kind of have a habit of doing,
We don't want that.
we don't want it armed when it
I mean,
crashes.
that's
For
fair.
fear that it might,
Yeah.
whoopsies. Which
Yeah,
is fair.
I would also, like, after that bomb was created at any point in time, and be like, you know what, I'm just not gonna get within a state's distance of it,
Right? At 8:09, the Enola Gay starts its bombing run. At 8:15, the little boy is released. It takes 44.4 seconds to reach its detonation height of about 1,900 feet above the city. It would miss its
That's the
target
other crazy thing
that we did it
sorry,
above the city.
that 1,900 feet
Above the city is where it detonates.
is where it went off.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that was intentionally done for
maximum damage.
maximum damage.
Yeah, because if it goes all the way to the ground, you're getting basically you're getting half the bomb. Like,
Yeah. Shit's
like-
gonna, the ground is gonna absorb
yeah,
some of that.
the buildings around it and everything else. This way, you're exploding it there, and it's getting the full shock wave is going across everything.
It would miss its military target due to winds and detonate over Shima Surgical Clinic, although it really didn't matter where the hell it detonated because it's an atomic bomb.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And
Right?
it counts as like infinitely times more
When it's an atomic
when
bomb.
it's an atomic bomb.
Around 30% of the population was instantly killed by the blast, or around 80,000 people, instantly by the blast itself. Japanese official report says that about 69% of the buildings were destroyed entirely, with an additional 10% damaged. So you have 79% of the city is wiped out, essentially.
Yeah.
High-end casualty reports indicate that 20,000 soldiers were killed, up to 126,000 civilians killed, although those are not including the ones that would die.
Those are blast impact victims. They're not.
Those are blast impact victims that would die within the immediate month
right.
of that blast, not the ones that would die years later from cancer from radiation.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. It's not the radiation. It's blast victims. It's people who went to the hospital and died of their injuries later or whatever.
And
or
you could
just
go
died
on
immediately.
to an ethical debate about whether we should have done that or shouldn't have done that. But next week, I'm going to give you a little bit of spoiler. We're going to talk about what happened in the interim of that bomb being dropped and the second bomb. Spoiler alert! If you're not aware of anything from
Wait,
history,
what? We did it again?
that gets dropped on Nagasaki next week. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, that's this week in history.
Well, that's horrifying, Tommy. Thank you. And that's this week in history.